Hello, welcome back to Reads of an Apple. My name is Stacy, and I am here to start my next weekly vlog. I don't even know what week it is. What week is it? It is week 46 of 2022. And surprise, today's Tuesday. Yep, I had another down weekend. At least I had a down day on Sunday. And yeah, I'm just really struggling with a lot of things, and I've had some more good leads. I haven't, even though I have an application in for one place that's really promising, I haven't stopped looking. Just in case it falls through, knock on wood, but I have a couple other options that I'm hoping are going to work out, but we'll see what happens. This isn't the first time that my hopes have been up and then dashed and then up and then dashed, and I'm just kind of over this. It's been several months of this, even before I moved in here, and I'm just... it's really frustrating. And tonight I have a new mug. Tonight I'm using my zebra mug. It's just super pretty, and then it's got flowers on the other side. Tonight I'm drinking another peppermint tea, and this is one that was a gift that somebody gave me, and it's Pride and Peppermint, so it's Pride and Prejudice inspired, and it's a caffeine-free blend of rooibos, chamomile, and peppermint. It's not as good as the peppermint from Twinings, but it's a good, nice, calming one still. And the peppermint, because it's blended with rooibos, which I think is kind of strong by itself, and also chamomile, it doesn't stand out. Like, it's not overly minty. There's just a hint of mint. And I prefer, this is the first time I've had this tea. So I had to open the package because I was like, I want something pepperminty. I'm enjoying it. It just isn't quite what I was wanting tonight, so I have like a cheap thing of like just straight peppermint tea. So I might make a second cup with just that, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. This past weekend on Saturday, I did finish A Court of Frost and Starlight. If this is my first video that you're watching, I am reading through SJM's Sarah J. Maas's backlist as a part of the SJM Along, created by Jen at the Book Refuge. I had never read Sarah J. Maas before this. She had been on my TBR forever. But they were just so hyped, so I never really got around to picking them up. On top of the fact that I always heard that they were YA, and I never was a big YA person, even when I was a young adult myself. I pretty much went from reading chapter books to like adult books. Although maybe young adult wasn't as big of a thing, or it wasn't as much of a thing when I was young. Like Twilight came out when I was in high school and college, because I remember my sister being into it. Or I didn't read them until college, but I felt like I was above the target audience when they came out. But anyway, I enjoyed this. 5 stars. It was so much fun. I loved the mix of POVs. Not only did we get Feyre and Rhysand, but we got 1 or 2 chapters from Nesta, and I think we got 2 chapters from Nesta. We got at least 1 chapter, I guess 2 chapters from Cassian. We got some from Morgan's POV. Most of this was Feyre and Rhys, though. But I enjoyed this, and I thought it was really fun. It was just... it dealt with them recovering from the war, but it also had a lot, like, it felt like slice of life to me, on top of being a holiday novella, which is super fun. And I just really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting too much because I have heard mixed things about this book, but I just thought it was great, and I'm sure, oh, I know I've talked about it in previous vlogs that there are signs of like depression and things that I've seen with Nesta that breaks my heart. This book had me bawling. Oh, Nesta. And then even when we were in like Feyre's POV and talking about Nesta, my heart was breaking for her. The only thing I did not like is that Feyre did not get her a gift for the solstice. And I get that she had to pay her there, and I understand why, but she was pushing, even before she like blackmailed her with her rent money, to get her to come, to push so hard, and to get Amren to talk to her, and talk to Elaine to talk to her, and go seek her out herself before she even basically paid her to show up to the festivities. She didn't have a gift for her, even something little, and she didn't have to get her some big thing, but I'm very much a believer that it's like the thought behind the gifts. That's why I make most of my Christmas gifts. And and I know technically Cassian has a gift for her, but he doesn't give it to her in front of everybody else. The only one that has a gift for her is Elaine. And my heart broke for Nesta. Because I have been in, maybe not quite the same, but I have been in situations where I'm around family or friends that are family, or just kind of in a situation where everyone's like, come on, you should come, you should come, you should come. And I just didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't really want to be around those people. And so I cave, and I show up, and I don't really want to be there, and I don't want to go because I'm feeling ostracized, or I'm feeling like they don't truly want me there. But then when you do show up, you tend to kind of seclude yourself because you don't want to be there. But they let you, if that makes sense. And they further allowing you to seclude yourself. And then when you kind of just get ignored or something like that, like I've had close family members forget it's my birthday, and I'm not looking for a gift. I'm not looking for a gift card. I'm not looking for anything outside of a text that, hey, you were thinking of me. And then I really struggle with it because when it's their birthday, part of me wants to be petty and not reach out to them and not spend my money on them. But then I know that I would feel bad on myself because I'm not that petty person, even though I have the inclination to. But I just need to not push myself to overdo it for them when it's not appreciated and it's not reciprocated. Not that I'm doing it expecting the reciprocation, but I don't know. I hope it makes sense, and I hope I don't seem like a horrible person because I just get in my head about things sometimes. But anyway, it just really broke my heart, even more so because I hold family, like when I was able to hold family things, and I had my own place, and I would host Thanksgiving, and I would host Christmas and stuff. I was very much like, if you were bringing a friend of a friend who didn't have anywhere to go, or like we always did stockings for everybody. And if somebody was showing up last minute, I would throw a stocking to them. I'd run to the dollar store. I'd run to Walgreens or whatever and get some extra stuff. And I would split the candy a little bit more so that everybody got a little bit less, but everybody could have some candy and peanuts and all of the things that we do in the stockings. And because I know what it is to kind of feel ostracized or left out when you're in a situation like that. So I try very hard to not do that to anybody else. But anyway, this is going on a lot longer than I was expecting to, which are we surprised? But that was the one thing that really bothered me, but that's because it really kind of hit on something that's close to me and something similar that I've kind of struggled with, because it is the thought that counts. And then there's the whole Cassian thing, and then I was a little angry at her for pushing Cassian away, but I know that her book is going to absolutely wreck me. So I'm both excited and tentative about that, but we have some time before that. That is not till next year. Okay. I have a list of things I want to talk about. So next we're going to do the quest calendar. We will catch back up. If this is your first weekly vlog of mine that you are watching throughout 2022, I have been playing the Gates of Terralon. It is a daily calendar created by Quest Calendars. They are a tabletop role-playing. This is based off tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, D20 based systems, and it is a daily calendar with Saturdays and Sundays combined, and we are playing through a campaign. As always, I have them linked down below if you are interested. Now that we're coming up on 2023, I don't know if you can, I think you can pre-order them on their website. I backed them on Kickstarter like earlier this year, but 2023's theme is going to be like space opera, sci-fi kind of stuff. So I'm very excited for next year's. I guess I'll do a quick rundown as quick as I can here. So the overall storyline has been that when we were on like our Earth world, shards of a gate came down and the gate to the demon world was shattered. So we are traveling from world to world. We were tasked by the World Watcher to go world to world to pick, to reclaim all of the shards of the gate, and then we are going to, I assume, put the gate together. And it kind of sounded like if we don't, the universe will implode. So yeah, we're dealing with traveling world to world. It's been super fun so far. We've gone through a lot of like elemental and different based worlds right now. We are finishing up. We are actually just ready to finish up. We're probably going to head to a new world here soon, but we have been like in a mechanical machine metal based world, which is super fun. But before we get to that, I have been playing as Savani Moonchaser. She is a monk class and she is a feline race, which means she's a cat person. Alrighty, so we will just kind of get into it. We'll go over the page if this is your first time. If you have seen these before, I'm sorry. I feel like every week my little blurb just gets longer and longer because we're doing more and more. But this is what the pages look like. Anything in this script type font is our story that I will read out. If there is any information on mechanics on what we are doing, it will be in a box with a block style font. This one in particular was a combat page, so we have a table here that kind of lets us know how the combat is going to run. In this particular instance, we fought these little robot dudes, but each one was only one round. Sometimes it's one creature for multiple rounds, sometimes it's like one creature for 2 rounds, and then 2 other creatures for 1 round each. So the table will kind of tell you what's going on, and then all of the information that we need is on the back of the previous day's page. So here's where we ended up on Friday. We fought these guys while trying to get to the portal to leave this world. And, ooh, okay, yep. And so here is the guardian of this portal. You can see the portal behind him. So once again, it looks like we will have to do 4 rounds of fighting this particular guy to make it through the portal. But let's see what it says. Just when you think the bots are defeated, they regroup and organize together to form a large guardian machine. It towers over you. Whoa. Okay, and then like I said, all of our information is on the back of the previous today page. So it looks like we are going to have 4 rounds of fighting this guy, so we will just kind of get to it. And I am using my little mini dice that came with the set. So these are really tiny. And they're super fun. Okay, so we will just kind of get into it. So our attack is at a +12 and our damage is 2d12 plus 5. So we'll just get into it. So for attack roll, that is a 9. So we are at 21. If your attack roll is 18 or more, you hit the Guardian. Perfect. So we will roll damage. That is a 7 and a 4, so 11 plus 5, so 16 total damage. If you hit and your damage roll is 15 or more, the Guardian is stunned this round. If he is stunned, that means he does not attack us on this round, so we can just move on to round number 2. So we'll just continue this way. Round 2, I rolled a 7, so we are at 19 to hit. And we needed an 18 once again, so damage is a 12, nice, and a 4, so we're at 16 plus 5, so 21 total damage. And we needed 12 or more to stun him this round, so he is stunned another round. On to round number 3, and that is 11, so we are at 23 to hit. Once again, it's 18, so damage for round 3 is a 1 and an 11. That's weird. All ones. So plus 5, so 17 total damage. And we needed 13 or more to stun him. So on to round 4, our final round. And that is a 19. So we're at 31. Wow. Okay. And we needed 18 once again. So then damage is a 2 and an 8, so 10, so 15 total damage. So if you hit and your damage roll is 11 or more, the Guardian is defeated. If you stun the Guardian 3 rounds, collect 12 gold. If you also defeated the Guardian, collect 16 gold. Okay, usually, typically, it's not 12 and 16. It's 12 plus 4 more for 16 because it looks like it's been 4 around. So I'm just going to add 16 here to my character sheet. So 65. Okay. Alrighty, and then you activate the gate just as you did the last ones. You step through and are teleported to another world. Ooh. I'm intrigued to see where we're going to go next, but because it's technically Tuesday, we have 2 more pages to do, so we are playing catch up. So once again, this is the Guardian that we defeated, and then we jumped through the portal. So yesterday, Mondays is... Of course, we're leveling up. Look at that. So congratulations, you gained enough experience to increase your hero's level. So all heroes, increase your hero's level to 6. You have 2 points to allocate however you choose to your hero's traits. Strength, dexterity, constitution, intellect, wisdom, and charisma. So let me just kind of take a peek here. Okay, so I think I'm going to use my 2 points, and I'm going to add 1 to strength to bump my strength up to a +4, and 1 to wisdom to also bump that one up to a +4. And then as for what we get, we will get +5 to our health, +1 to our defense. Our damage is going up to 3d10 as a base, 1 extra chi point, and then we will get a new ability, Harness Chi once per rest, regain 2 chi points, which I don't use chi too often, but I do time to time. Okay, and since I have the hero book, that is what I have been using. If you don't get the hero book additional, then at the front of the calendar is like a paper sheet that's like this size of your character, so then you have to like go through and manually do it. I think they also offer PDF ones that you can print, but because I have the hero book, it will just be flipping the page, and it looks like this will be our last level up. So level 6 is our max. And I definitely will need to start kind of transferring some things over. But for the sake of time for today, we'll just play today's calendar, and then I'll just kind of flip between the two to make sure that we're using the correct stats. But let's continue on. All right. Oh, we're back at home. We're back at Great Cliff. Have we been to all the worlds? Oh my gosh. Okay, we're back at home. So Great Cliff, this is our home city, or the city that we were in when the shard fell into the sky and demons arrived on this planet. You have collected all of the gate shards. What? Okay, before you head to the demon world to restore the gate, you need to visit with Gregorum, the wizard, to find out how he plans to do it. The citizens have been busy since you have been gone, and the city is mostly rebuilt. Yeah, there were some areas in rubble when we left from demons and the shard falling from the sky. Okay, so let us see what we've got here. So the shiny servant inn, newly rebuilt, the comfiest beds in all of Great Cliff. Pay 3 gold if you would like to take a rest. That will allow us to get our health back to full. We only have 1 damage right now. Regain all spell points and chi points. Remove the poison condition and the curse condition. Pay upkeep for any followers and remove a single negative modifier. And none of that really pertains except for the 1 damage we have, which I have health potions, so I'll wait till we get like 4 to 6 damage, and then I'll drink a health potion. So I don't think we need to worry about resting. You can also purchase meal rations at the inn. I have been waiting to purchase meal rations. We are out, so they are 4 gold a piece. And I mean, we're kind of getting close to the end of the campaign, because we're halfway through November now. I usually get 4 or 6. I think I'm just going to get 4. So I'm going to use 16 gold. And I will get 4. You know what? Might as well get 5. We'll get 5. And we'll just spend 20 gold even. That is fine with me. Okay. Tasha's trinkets. A mean old lady is selling off old and destroyed pieces of the city from when the demons attacked. She recalls seeing you in the Tournament of Lords and nags you. When you are occupied, she tries to pick your pocket. Annoying. Okay, so our wisdom is a +4, and this is just a straight wisdom roll. And that is a 14. So we have 18. If the result is 11 or more, you stop her from stealing from you. You call the guard, who arrests her. Okay. You take a casual stroll through the alley to see how the poorer residents are doing. They usually don't get as much aid as the other citizens. You quickly see that hasn't changed. You spot several beggars asking for a coin. Do you toss them 1? Yeah, I might as well. Gain a virtue point. Okay. It doesn't say that we actually minus any of our gold, which seems odd. Okay. And our virtue is at a max of +10. And then the final place we can visit is Philly's famous fairs. A plump gnome named Philly happily and gleefully greets you and bids you a fine welcome to his shop. He is selling normal health potions, greater health potions, ointments, bandages, and potions of clarity. And we have a bunch of health potions and we have a few greater health potions, and the other ones are used to remove different effects from death, but we also can use our chi points for some of those, so I'm just not going to worry about purchasing those. I'll save our money and maybe we'll get a chance to upgrade some other things first, but I'm not going to worry about getting extra things, and we haven't really needed them so far, but you know, knock on wood that I don't die like tomorrow or something silly. So there is that. And that is all that we have for today's quest calendar. So that was all 3 days. We are completely caught up and we can move forward. I'll have to leave this open and upgrade or level up my character and transfer all my information over. Actually, I don't want to put it away because then I might forget to do it. So let me put these away now. While I do this, I guess I will chat with you. So last night I started the Rake Appreciation Society book for this month. The meeting is tomorrow on Wednesday, and I've been meaning to pick it up, but I still hadn't. So I finally started Sea of Ruin last night by Pam Godwin. I enjoy Pam Godwin. I've only read one book of hers before, but I enjoyed it a lot. And this is a dark historical romance about pirates. And I mean, it starts out sad. I guess maybe a little dark. This definitely, I mean, outside of it being like gritty, piratical in nature, it hasn't felt too dark to me, but I mean, I've definitely read darker, and I know that Pam has written a lot darker for sure. But I am enjoying it for the most part. I do know a thing, which I guess is kind of a spoiler, and I didn't really think about that when I did my TBR, but if you don't want to know my thoughts about Sea of Ruin so far, please skip ahead. But I do know that this turns out to be a menage, and I am not the biggest fan of menages, so I'm really just kind of seeing how she's gonna make it work, and I have a feeling of who it's going to be between, but I don't know for sure. All I knew is that it was a twist, and then I found out later that the twist was a menage, which for me, that is a good thing that I know going in, because that is something that I don't enjoy, so I can prepare myself for it. I don't know what to think so far. So I did read the first 5 chapters of it yesterday. And then the prequel novella, King of Libertines, takes place between chapters 5 and 6, and it's free on Amazon. So I had already actually purchased it a while ago when I added Sea of Ruin to my TBR, but I never picked it up because it was a menage. So then I read that, and then I jumped back into Sea of Ruin. So I ended up giving King of Libertines 4 stars, and it's basically how Bennett met Priest, who is her husband in the current book, and how he joined her crew, and basically the start of their romance journey together. And I mean, it was fun, it was cute, it was interesting, because even then there is quite a time jump between the beginning or chapter 5 and King of Libertines. So we end chapter 5 where Bennett is 14 years old and has just watched both of her parents are now dead, and her father was a pirate and her mother was a disgraced noblewoman, and she does kind of go through a horrific tragedy around the same time to her person, and she ends up becoming a pirate. But because she's so young, her father's quartermaster basically is like, I'll run the ship until you are of age and can take it over, because her father always said that he captured the ship and kept it for her. So she has now been a captain. I think she's like 21-ish when we get to King of Libertines. And then 2 years later is chapter 6 in Sea of Ruin. So Yeah, so I gave 4 stars to King of Libertine, but I might change it depending on how I feel about this book later on. I wasn't sure if 3.5 or 4 stars. I really just kind of, because you could tell it was the beginning of their romance and you didn't get their full relationship story, I guess. So I definitely wanted to learn more of what happened to them before I finalized my rating on the novella. But anyway, I am now, I don't even know what I'm at. Let me check my Hoopla, because I have this through Hoopla, and so I'm reading the ebook on there. I am in chapter 26, and I am about 47% through. So I definitely need to get going and try to finish it tonight. It shouldn't be too bad. I didn't read for too long last night, so I should be able to finish it fairly quickly. But I'm not sure how I feel about the situation between Priest and Bennett. It seems like either the night they got married, like that night after they got married, or the night after, he had relations with another person. I feel like she's doing a good job of laying hints about it being a man and not a woman. It's standing out to me just because I know that it's a MF or an MMF. I believe it's an MMF. I know it's a menage with 2 men and a woman. I'm not quite sure what order, but I'm assuming it's MMF because he slept with him. But Bennett, this person he slept with, is breaking off their relationship. And when he returns home to Bennett the next morning, she finds this beautiful love letter from this person in Priest things, and is incredibly hurt and betrayed, and runs from him, and has been running from him for 2 years. And so we kind of catch up with him catching back up to her, and she is really struggling because she's still really attracted to him, and he knows all of her buttons and all of her little things, and he knows how to what little amount he can do to seduce her and want her to fall in bed with him. But she's also hurting a lot, and it was hard to read her really struggle through that emotionally. And I don't know. I don't know if I would, even knowing, I don't know. I'm just really struggling with it because he wants her so bad to forgive him. And I know eventually this other person is probably going to be pulled into it. But it just really, not only did he cheat on her, it was right after they got married. I feel like it was that night or the night after. It's not month, it's not a year into the relationship or something like that. But she also talks about how, she knew he was a libertine and he slept around and he's just someone who did that. He was a pirate playboy kind of a thing. But the fact that it wasn't just him sleeping with somebody else, but that he had this truly heartfelt loving relationship with this other person that wasn't her, really hit on her insecurities. And I don't know. I don't know how you come back from that. But we will see. I feel like they're a little too lust-based so far. Because she just talks about how when she sees him, he's just so pretty. And she just, she wants to be with him. But she also mentions that from what Bennett is feeling, the connection between them, it wouldn't matter to her if he was ugly, because it was their connection that really made her start falling for him. But there is a lot tied into, like, she says this, and I believe her when she says this, but I feel like a lot of their interactions are very chemistry and physical based. So I'm not seeing that emotional connection between them. That also could be because she is so hurt and she's trying to get back at him for all of these things. And I don't know, I just dislike a lot too that he, like, while he copped up to it, and she keeps asking him the name of this other person, and he will not tell her, and he says, I protect the ones I love. And that just, I don't know, I'm like getting on, I'm feeling all teary-eyed just thinking about it, because I feel bad for her, because she feels like she's not enough. And, you know, what is this other person giving him that she can't give him? And then she also feels like, from this letter, that he actually met this other person before her. So she's technically the second woman. And it's just a struggle. And it's rough emotionally. That's not even like dark. So I don't know. She has now been captured, and she is captured by Commodore Ashley. And I have a feeling he might be who we're menaging with. But I kind of want her, I don't know. Okay, so this is why it helps for me knowing it's a menage going in. Because even knowing it's a menage, I am still like 1000% like ready for her to seduce and really connect with Ashley and have a relationship together and help her get over Priest. And even though I know that's not going to happen because Priest is still in the picture, this is what I want to happen. But that's because I myself, I don't like sharing in that way. And I just, so yeah. But we'll see how it goes. And that was a really long rant about Sea of Ruin and King of Libertines, because I just can't help not having a super long update when it's the beginning of a weekly vlog. Okay, so a couple other things I want to touch base on quickly. Today was the Taylor Swift verified fan pre-sale from Ticketmaster, and I was lucky enough to get a code. And about 9:45, logged into Ticketmaster, did all the things that they said, got in the waiting room, and was in the queue for a while, and then they paused the queue for like 4 hours, and then it was unpaused. It's such a mess. It was such a mess. And then we finally got in, trying to click, buy our tickets. My boss is like next to me. She's like, come on, hurry. We're like clicking. Every time we tried to check out, error. Sometimes it was that the tickets bought up. And most of the time we kept getting, you cannot use this device. But then when that thing would go away, it'd sit there and spin for a little bit. And then when it'd go back, those seats weren't available anymore. So I don't know if people were just buying the seats under us and we're all clicking at the same time. I don't know what the heck was happening, but it was a complete utter mess. And then at one point we got an error message that said, you have reserved too many, and it kicked us out. And then we had to sit in the queue again. We technically did not reserve our tickets. We just kept trying to reserve tickets, but we couldn't get anything to go through. So then I sat in the queue for a second time. And, you know, another hour and a half, couple hours. Finally got it back in. Same thing. Error message, like 3 different kinds of error messages over and over. And then it kicked us out again. So at that point, I went in because we were doing it at the one out front. And then so I was like, fine, I'll try it on the computer in my office. So I went in there because it kicked me out to the beginning of the queue anyway. So when I logged in on there, it was like, you're set up in the other, you already have a tab open. Do you want to switch to this one? So I said yes. So we closed everything down in the other one, switched it to that. For 45 minutes, the queue did not move. So there was like 8,800 people. But of course, Ticketmaster's thing just says 2,000 or more people are in front of you. Our first queue, it was 13,000. Like we need bigger increments than 2,000, but whatever. So we were at like 8,800. We were like number 8,800 when I moved to my office. And 45 minutes goes by and I'm just like, oh, so I pulled it up on my phone because at that point it was like almost 4:30. I'm like, if we're still dealing with this and I have to drive home, like I can't do that. So then I moved it over to my phone, but when I moved it over to my phone and it reset me in the back of the queue, only 7,800. I was 7,800. So I don't know if a bunch of people were just like, screw this and got off or what. And then it sat there for like another half hour of not moving. And then it like right when we were getting ready to leave, it started jumping and counting down. So I was like, great, great, great. Finally get in. After 3 times sitting through that freaking queue, all that's left are the ones that on like, so here's the stage. We've got floor around it. And then we've got stadium seating. These 2 areas, like kind of back behind the stage, are all that was remaining in the nosebleed seats. And that was it. And so I was just like, I looked at my boss and I was like, they're better than nothing, but we still have the Capital One pre-sale tomorrow and I have a Capital One credit card, so we can get in there. And I know that Capital One has different sections. So at the very least, we should be able to get in on there. And then we have the general pre-sale because they're supposed to only do a portion of the pre-sale, but Ticketmaster completely screwed everything up. I am super frustrated. My boss was crying. I almost cried a couple of times. And we're just like, all we want is freaking tickets. And she was going to get us the VIP floor tickets, which are like $750 with all the packages and stuff. And I was like, oh my God. And she's like, it's a once in a lifetime thing. We're going to do it. So it's like, it wasn't a money thing. It's just, we could not literally get to the checkout. So I'm really frustrated, but I have an alarm set on my phone, and then I told the A at work, the Amazon A girl, to remind us 5 minutes before 1:30 because they'll go on sale at 2 o'clock local venue time. So I'm really hoping. I joined the TS Tours Discord group that she just created, and I was talking to all the other people in Denver, and I know that I was not the only one struggling. Some of the other people actually did manage to get tickets who were going through it as much. Oh, but it just was really frustrating. And we're trying to buy 5 tickets, and either 5 in a row or 3 and 2 or 2 and 3. So we're all kind of grouped together, and it's just like we have to stay zoomed out so we can see. But then it's hard to click on the things. It was just really frustrating, and I feel like it was a waste of a day and we didn't get tickets. So I'm really hoping we can at least get tickets tomorrow, the very least in the mid to lower bowl, but I would like floor seats. I've been to concerts, but never like a big concert like this. I haven't been to an arena or a stadium tour concert. All of the ones I've been have been in like tiny little concert halls that maybe max of like 1,500, 2,000 people. So this will be my first like big concert, and I really hope that we get tickets. But so that was stressful, and I told my boss, I was like, I feel like we got nothing done today, and it was just super disappointing. But yeah, so there's the drama for that. Quickly kind of moving on, I did get a little bit of book mail yesterday. So technically today. Today was the release of Shipwrecked by Olivia Dade. This is the 3rd book in her spoiler alert series. Isn't it so pretty? I follow the artist on Twitter and Instagram, and it's super gorgeous. But there's the back. It's just the pretty blue, but oh, it's just so cute. And they're both curvy, and I am excited to read this. But I had pre-ordered this originally through, I think, Barnes & Noble. I got it through one of their pre-order sales. But then a thing came out that if you pre-ordered it from one of the romance-only bookstores called Love Sweet Arrow, it would have a special dust cover on it. So I canceled my Barnes & Noble order, and I ordered it through Love Sweet Arrow because it's the same price. And I got the special edition. Oh, look at it. Oh my gosh. It is historical romance inspired. Oh, our heroine is a buck-ass naked. Look how pretty it is. It is so gorgeous. I love this to pieces. I even love the back. Like, it is just so pretty. I didn't even notice they're little on the side, but so yeah, I have the special dust cover, and I was like, I wasn't sure. I just knew it was a dust cover, but I was like, it's a paperback. But, and then I also got a signed little thing to put in it. So it would be a signed edition, but I had to share it because it's so gorgeous. Otherwise, that's really kind of it. I will show you. I'm sitting on it. I have been crocheting my blanket. I'm almost-ish caught up. So I'm working on 5 and 6, weeks 5 and 6. So that is this portion here. So we've got frosting swirl, and then I did the licorice option. And then I have the second frosting swirl is what I'm working on. So all I have left is the 2 or 3 rows of the gingerbread color, the brown color, to finish that. And then I have week 7, which is the final week. It was posted this last Saturday. So I need to do this. This is kind of my plan to do tomorrow, unless I can get through Sea of Ruin quickly. And tonight, and maybe at least crochet 1 row. But I can't believe we're almost done. So we've got the roof tiles and then the edging, and I already know which option I'm going to do. I'm going to do the fanned edging, and I can't believe it's almost done. But I feel like she started it earlier this year. If you did not know, this is a crochet along with Busy Crochet. I'll link her website down below, but it is a gingerbread inspired blanket. She usually does inspired Christmas blankets. And so there's the centerpiece. And then I chose, a lot of them so far have been the candy option instead of the icing option. So this is the Jawbreaker section, but instead of doing candy colors, I did this like ice blue color. And then we had the rope swirls, and I did a waffle stitch. And then the ropes were the foundation. And then I did, instead of frosted windows, I did the licorice option just so I could have more blue in the blanket. So it is super big. And we are not there yet. But so yeah, that is where I'm at so far. I can't see you, but that's what it's looking like. So I definitely have some work to do on this. But my main goal tonight is finish Sea of Ruin. But otherwise, that is all I have for you. So I'm going to stop so this doesn't hit 15 minutes this time. And I will see you all tomorrow. And I'll let you know if we get tickets. Alrighty. Hello, it is still Tuesday. I'm back. I realized I forgot to say something. Of course I forgot to say something. So, Monday, yesterday, was Cheese's 21st birthday. I can't believe my kitty is 21 years old. But I got some special kitty toys for her that I wanted to share. So, I got her some catnip wine bottles. So this is Moscato. And then this is Pinot Meow, and it's cat wine. This is from Pet Wine Shop. They're a little pricier than I wanted to pay, but I thought they were absolutely perfect. Come here, sleepyhead. Come get your presents. And they were supposed to come yesterday, but then they got delayed. Hi. Let mommy open this. And then I will give you your presents. We think. Chippy chippy. I know, you're just sleeping over there. Alright, I'm going to take out the tag as well. Do you see? See a little kitty wine bottle. She's smelling it. Yeah. And then the same people also had liquid catnip that they have like in tiny little wine bottles. So this is liquid catnip. She's rubbing her face all over it. Happy birthday! So I just thought I would share this for you because this is super fun. So we have Moscato. And it looks like a white wine. So all this is filtered water, organic catnip extract, coconut oil, and then beet yellow color. Cat wine is not designed as a treat and is most suitable as a liquid remedy to increase playfulness in cats. It is solely designed for play and is non-toxic. Serve cold for maximum effect. It says shake well and serve 1 ounce. And this is 1.7 ounces, but I'll probably just give her a tiny little bit. But I'll show you the other ones in here. So this is White Kittendale. And it's got this like pinkish color. This one has valerian root extract as well. And then beet red instead of beet yellow. And then Cat Bernay. So this is a nice dark red. And this one has the same thing, valerian root and the beet red. And then a Pinot Meow. And this one's kind of like a light red color. And this is the same thing. Oh, but this one doesn't have the valerian. This is just catnip extract, and that's the only extract. But yeah, so I'm super excited. I might save some of these for other kitties, depending on how she likes them. But my favorite wine is Moscato's, so I'm going to try giving her the Moscato. So I figured we could see if she likes them. What is Mama doing? You should watch your Mama. Okay. So, we're going to shake this. I'm super excited. I hope she likes it. We're going to see. And then I have a little bowl here that has cat hair in it because she was playing in it earlier. Okay, so I'm just going to give her a touch and see what she does. Oh my goodness. Mama's got a kitty nip for you. We could have wine. Mama could go get a glass of wine and we could both have some wine. So I didn't give her that much. Do you see? Come here. We sniff? What are you doing? What do you think? No, you're not interested? Me. Have some. No. You got your wine bottle. Oh goodness. What about this side? Hello. Happy Thursday. I did it again. I did not update last night, but I'm trying to remember what I was even doing, but I had Rake Appreciation Society, but that was only an hour. So anyway, I know I have some things to catch up on. So I did finish Sea of Ruin. I'm going to give it 3 stars. I might bump it up to 3.5, but right now I'm kind of sitting at 3 stars. I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of didn't grab me. And I know that like a lot of people are struggling or struggled with the violence aspect of this. And I guess maybe not fine. That seems weird. But the sexual violence done against Bennett by both Priest and Ashley. And I mean, Priest does kind of do some forced seduction on her, which I take as sexual violence. That didn't bother me as much. Like, I wasn't struggling to read through any of that. The only real violence and darkness I really had qualms with was when she gets completely, like, beaten within, like, inches of death near the end of the book. And this bothered me for a couple of things. So it felt very graphic. It felt overly graphic. And honestly, it felt a little unnecessary to me. Like, but that also could be about 70% in. I was thinking we were about to start wrapping up. And this is, if you've read it, this is when Ashley is going to find Priest, and he hands Bennett off to the admiral who's above him in the hierarchical chain to keep safe on his boat. And then she ends up being horribly abused by this person. And even that I was able to get through fine. I mean, it was sad and it was dark and it was horrendous, but it didn't feel gratuitous or like torture porn or anything like that. And I was like, okay, this will happen, and then she'll finally figure out the compass, and then we'll kind of wrap up the book. And then I saw I was only at like 70%, and I was like, oh no, there's still a lot going on. So I feel like that last whole section with her being then I don't know, I just felt like it would just ended up feeling very long to me. And then at that point is when we get the horrible beating of Bennett. So, I mean, I was already at the point where I was just trying to get through the end of the book. And then this happened and I did not like it. And I didn't see the point of it because she would have eventually figured out the compass. And we did not need her being beaten within, like, I mean, she was like on death's door when they rescued her. And at that point, Priest and Ashley were already kind of reconnected and at least started to kind of understand the dynamics between them. And then it's like this whole big deal of they nurse her back to health for like 5 weeks or something crazy. And I feel like if she really wanted that nursing and bringing her kind of back, have the Admiral do more to her, or have her be in almost psychological, need a lot of psychological healing or something like that. So I wasn't a fan of that. And then at the end, I kind of found myself, like, I noticed it a bit throughout the book, but also at the end when they were saying, like, I love you to each other. And I kind of started realizing that to me, obviously to me, they will say things like, I let you do this. I forgive you because I love you, or I love you because of the connection that we have. And so we get told a lot of their emotional connection, but I never felt the emotional connection. And a lot of that I feel like is because a lot of the affection that they give and show is sexually based, at least that we see on page in the book. So for me, I was missing that emotional connection between them, because I just, like Bennett was just saying, she was feeling feelings, but none of the actions really showed me it was feelings outside of being attracted to them as a person. And they called her strong and brave and things like that. But a lot of the times when they would be in an intimate moment, I mean, even to Priest and even to Ashley and even to Bennett, like all of them would just be complimenting how handsome or beautiful or stunning or whatever, pick an adjective, this other person is. And so there was just so many more comments and like depth to their comments about the physical appearances that I was missing that same amount with the emotional dialogue. So I don't know. I think if it was a little bit shorter, I probably would have given it 4 stars. As for the menage, I know it was kind of a hard thing for me. I struggle with menages anyway, but I don't know. It just, part of me understood why, but I also I felt it coming. There was something missing for me on how they will make their dynamic work. And for me to really enjoy a menage, I really need to feel at the end of the book that there really is no way that these relationships can work without the third person in any pairing that you choose to do between them. And that it really just makes sense. But because we sat so much of this book with just Ashley and Bennett and really actually saw most of their relationship, this book was very focused on them. I can see their relationship without Priest. So, and I feel like they could have a fulfilling relationship without Priest. So, I don't know. The menage didn't, I mean, I have a high bar for a menage to really work for me. And this came, I mean, I don't think I've ever found a menage that truly works for me. But this one, I definitely have read some that are more believable than this one, so.
Hi, am I talking to the camera? Say yes, Mommy.
But because I haven't posted videos, I haven't edited videos in forever. I'm still filming, but I need to start posting things, and I haven't done reviews in a while, so I kind of have gotten out of habit for a few things, but there's just a lot going on. But I wanted to do an update, so I forgot to mention, for A Court of Frost and Starlight, I did use this. I mentioned this in my TBR that this was going to work, but this worked for my yearly Yahtzee challenge, where we do, you roll your 5 dice for Yahtzee, and whatever your roll is, you choose a goal, and that's your prompt for the month. So it's only 1 book a month. And this, for November, I had 6s, which is 6 book in a series or 6-word title. which this worked for, so I used it for that. And then I moved this to Fall in Love #2 bingo board, and I use this for cozy cover because I feel like artwork in this style is just very cozy to me. And then for Color Me Romantic, I use this for bronze, which is historical or won an award, and this is listed as one of the Goodreads best YA fantasy and sci-fi for, I think, 2018 for this. So as like Goodreads is counting it, so I'm gonna count it. So
You rubbing your face on my paper?
So I forgot to mention that for these.
Oh my goodness.
For King of Libertines, I did put this on Fall in Love board #2, and I used it for the prompt yellow on cover. And then for Color Me Romantic, I did the same thing, which is yellow, and one of the prompts is yellow on the cover.
Oh my gosh, you're knocking stuff over with your tail.
Which officially finishes Color Me Romantic. So that runs until the middle of December, but there are options to do bonus, but the highest level that you can get is 30 books, and I have read all 30 of the main prompts, so I don't really have to worry about that one anymore. But the quarterly challenges for that one tend to go pretty easy for me, so that's fine, but that's one less thing to worry about. And then for Sea of Ruin, this one I also put on Fall in Love board #2, and I use this for career-driven main character because Bennett is very, like, she is a pirate. She wants to be a pirate. She only wants to be on the sea. So she's very career-driven in that way. It's a little funky, but it fits. So there are those. I will say today I got my Adagio tea order in. So here is the 2022, and it's a really pretty, it's kind of hard to tell from the lighting, but there's like, it's got like pine boughs on it, and it's this really pretty gold shiny. So this is the loose leaf tea advent calendar for 2022. I did see that they had last year's for sale as well. I'll pop Adagio down below. But I think it's super pretty. And then the back, and the back has silver and gold. And then here's what the inside looks like. So I just think it's super pretty. We got all sorts of colors and all sorts of fun things. So I cannot wait for I'm sure they'll bring back some of the blends, but I know there'll also be some new blends in here. So I cannot wait. And I contacted Crystal from Crystal's Bookish Life again. And I was like, if you haven't bought one, I would like to buy you one again because I bought her one last year. And so I'm waiting for one other thing that I ordered for her to come in, and then I will ship that to her, and hopefully it will get there before December 1st. But I wanted to say that's fun. I'm trying to hurry a little bit. So tonight I did finish week 6 of my blanket. So I did the last little portion, which was this final frosting swirl row. So for weeks 5 and 6, we did the frosting swirl, a candy option, of which I chose the licorice, and then the second frosting swirl. So I don't know if this is back far enough, kind of ish, to see half of it. So this is what it looks like so far. It's getting big. So I have week 7, which is the final week left. So I will hopefully plan to start that tomorrow or this weekend. I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do yet, but I want to get it finished so then I can get back to Christmas presents. But even though I enjoy doing Christmas presents, it's been kind of nice like working on something for me, because I usually don't make stuff for me when it comes to like crochet. So, and it has been perfect. We got a bunch of snow today, and this was like so warm on my lap while I was crocheting it. So I can't wait to have another blanket. And what I like about this one is, even though this is a Christmas blanket, because it's gingerbread themed and I chose a more like winter color palette, I think this will be a good one to put out all winter versus the other one I have, which is definitely more Christmas because it has like a giant poinsettia in the middle. But if you want to see that one, in my link tree is links to my Ravelry, and it is in my completed projects on Ravelry. I also I think put a bunch of pictures up above it when I first mentioned busy, so it might be in one of my previous vlogs and you probably already saw that. But otherwise, let's catch up in the quest calendar real quick. So on Tuesday, we returned home to Greycliff. So yesterday's Wednesdays, okay? It looks like we came across a demon. Alrighty, so he is fun. So it looks like we will do 3 rounds. And then we will have a wisdom roll, an attack roll, and a damage roll. Now, I do know, because we have fought demons before, the wisdom roll is a special thing from the staff that we have, and that could potentially banish the demon without us fighting him. So, let's just get into it, because we have 2 pages to do. So, I need a wisdom roll, and then let me pull this over here. So, I have a +4 to wisdom. And I rolled a 17. Okay, nice. So, that is 21. And we needed an 18 or more. Perfect. So we banished the demon back to its home realm. It is considered defeated. Reduce your health by 1, but gain a +1 bonus to any future die roll. And combat is over. So we skip rounds 2 and 3. And if you killed or banished the demon, collect 3 gold. So perfect. Nice and quick. Love it. So there is that. I mean, it's not as fun when I'm doing it daily, but because I keep skipping days, that's fine. So that's the demon we banished. Okay, and today we have a job board. So we're going to have 3 different jobs that we can do. So we'll just kind of get into it because it might take a little bit. A job board is always a good place to find ways to help out the citizens and earn some good coin while doing so. The city is always in need. Lost My Favorite Book is a Constitution roll, Reminder Student, Fallen and Can't Get Up, which is an Intellect roll, Reminder Arcane Adept, and Convince Family to Leave, Charisma roll, Reminder Persuasive. Alrighty, so we're going to just attempt to do all of them and see what happens. So, Lost My Favorite Book. An old wizard is frantic. He lost his spellbook during the demon invasion when his home collapsed. He was unconscious from an injury. While being tended to, his things were collected during the cleanup. It is my most precious possession, and it is lost. Some say books were donated to the castle library, but I haven't a way in. Due to the notoriety of your status from the Tournament of Lords and your mission from the king, you are allowed access to the castle library. However, the library contains a large collection, and there is no librarian to tend or sort the works. Okay, so this is a Constitution roll, and we have a +1. So that is a 15. Alrighty, and we needed a 13 or more. You spend hours reading and sorting through books in the library. You press on and eventually find the book. The old wizard thanks you and hands you 8 gold. Cool. Alrighty, so job board number 2, or job 2 on the board, is Fallen and Can't Get Up. A young sorcerer was practicing a phase shifting spell and got stuck in the floor of his house. As hilarious as it may appear, he is actually in a lot of pain and needs your help to get free. So this is an intellect roll, Reminder Arcane Adept, which we do not have, and our intellect is a 0. And that is an 18. Okay, we're doing well. We're doing well here. Okay, on this one, if the result is 16 or more, you are able to recognize the residual magic energy used in the spell. The sorcerer just didn't have enough power to finish it. You channel some of your own energy. The sorcerer falls through the floor into his basement. He thankfully pays you 5 gold. Okay. Alrighty, and then the final one is convince family to leave. An old elf lady is crying hysterically. There are just too many. The demons aren't going to stop coming, are they? I need to get my family out of here, but they refuse to leave this place. Please convince them for their own safety. So this is a charisma roll, reminder persuasive, and we do not have persuasive, and our charisma is a +1. I can't see, so that is a 14. So 15 total. The result is 15 or less. Oh my goodness. You are unable to convince the family to leave. Do you lie to the lady? No. If no, you reassure the lady that you will do your best to help protect the city. So we don't get paid for that one, but at least we kind of reassured an old lady. So there is that for quest calendar. It's already almost 11 o'clock, so I don't know if I'm going to be doing much reading tonight, but if I do, I plan on picking up Alessa Thorne's The Sharpest Edge next. This was one of my TBR books for the month, and I enjoy Alessa Thorne, and I know that this will be a fun and easy and quick read, and I'm very intrigued to get to Isabel and Silas's love story and see kind of how it evolved from the first book in the series. And I know that books 3 and 4 are coming, I think early 2023 is what she said, so I'm ready to get caught up in this series and see what happens. But I will let you know tomorrow if I end up picking it up. But my reading's still kind of slowed down, and I still need to find a fall cover to read to finish the first Fall in Love bingo board. But I've been kind of wanting to mood read, but I've been pushing myself to read lately because of book club books, so we'll see what happens. But I will let you know either way. But I will see you all tomorrow. Hello, happy Friday. I'm here to film my clip, obviously, and I don't really have much. It was super cold today when I left for work this morning. It was only 9 degrees outside, which was super fun. I ended up buying a new beanie, and I'm going to show you because it's cute. So I found this gray one. I was thinking about making a beanie, but I don't know. I have beanies already that are in storage, but I needed a beanie because my ears were cold, and I thought about just making another ear warmer. But the ear warmers I've made, but beanies, the ones that I make, I don't keep usually, weirdly enough. So I don't know why that is, but I saw this pretty gray one, and it's got nice soft material on the inside of it. So, but I'm excited for it. I love the big bean. I love the big pom-pom. It's a little loose. I might try to get it down a little bit more, but yeah, that'll work. Super good. And and it's nice that it's lined, because even though it pulls the knitting stitches apart a little bit, because I have a big freaking head, it's got that second liner, which is nice. So I went ahead and just bought it. Plus, it's my favorite color, and I like to mix things up with my beanies anyway. And I don't have one that color of gray. But so that's the only fun thing I have for you. I did not start a book last night, so we will see what I end up picking up this weekend, but that will be in next week's vlog. So we will just do the quest calendar and wrap things up. So yesterday we did the job board and we managed to do all 3 jobs, but we just didn't earn money from all of them. So today, okay, it looks like we are back to talk with the wizard dude. And we last saw him in like January or February. So that's crazy. So you find Gregorum in his lab in the castle. He is busy and almost doesn't recognize you. Once he does, he gets excited. So you've done it then. You've collected all the pieces of the gate. Excellent. Just in time too. I have deciphered a spell to reassemble that which is broken. Of course, perfect timing. Perfect timing. Isn't this so great? So we're gonna do 3 things. Number 1 is discuss the plans with Gregorum on how to proceed. Number 2 is take the gate shard. So we had left him 1 to study here, I think. And then number 3 is convince him to lend you further aid. Yeah, that's probably gonna be helpful. All right, so number 1, discuss the plans. Well, I think it is best that you take this gate shard and the spell I have crafted. You will need to somehow travel to the demon realm to reassemble the gate. I believe you will be able to cast this spell with a bit of practice, but as for the travel, I haven't quite deciphered that yet. You assure Gregorum that you can travel to the demon realm from the Terralon gate at the Lost Library. With this news, he seems intrigued and happily impressed. From there, he teaches you the spell he created to restore the gate. Okay, so take the gate shard. So this is a wisdom roll, reminder, danger sense. And this is just basically to not become cursed from being near the gate shard.
What?
When I got home and opened my door, she was like sitting right inside the door and she was like, meow. My brother was like, whoa. I was like, I don't know what happened. Why is she yelling at me? Yeah, you like to scream at your mama. My mom used to call her the screaming Mimi. And then I remember in college, I was reading I think it was my psychology book. And there's a reference to screaming Mimi. And so I took a picture of her to her and I sent it to her. And I was like, look, it's a real thing, not just what you call me kitty. But anyway, I'm going to roll. That is a 12 and our wisdom is a +4. So 16. And we needed a 15 or more. For the familiar sense of dread fills your head as you approach near the shard. You avoid letting the magic affect you. Oh, we also have danger sense. So we're even higher than that, but we're still good. Okay, so number 3, convince him to lend you further aid. Choose a tactic. Appeal to his cautious and intellectual nature, which is a wisdom roll. B, be charming and confident of your abilities, which is charisma. Or C, take charge of the mission, which is a strength roll. I'm going to go with the first option, appeal to his cautious and intellectual nature. So wisdom roll, reminder, student. We don't have student, but we do have wisdom as a +4. And that is, I dropped the dice. I dropped it in your tip. Okay, that is a 17. So we are at 21. Okay, if the result is 15 or more, I do have something I can offer to assist you, but you may want to hire some help. Add 1 greater potion and 5 gold to your inventory. Cool. Alrighty, so I will get those added to my inventory, and that is all I have for you. So hopefully I will get back on track on uploading videos. I think there's going to be some double posts or a lot of posts kind of crammed together. But hopefully by the time you're watching this one, things are kind of getting caught up a little bit. and I have some plans on what I might do for December. This will be my first time with Vlogmas, and since I prefer to do this vlog style anyway, I was thinking of doing a different kind of Vlogmas, but we will see what happens. But just stay tuned for that. I probably will still at least keep doing my weekly vlogs for the quest calendar and stuff, but anyway, stay tuned for that because hopefully I will be able to get some ones done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching.